Did you know that Prophet Muhammad was a shepherd before he became a prophet? But he wasn't the only prophet who worked with his hands. Every single prophet of Allah had a real profession, a real job. Today, we're uncovering the occupations of all 25 prophets mentioned in the Quran and the powerful lessons hidden in their work. Let me tell you something that changed my perspective completely. A few years ago, I was struggling with my job. I felt like the work I was doing, the daily grind, the long hours, it all seemed so disconnected from my spiritual life. Like my dunya and deen were in two separate boxes. Then I came across a hadith. The Prophet Muhammad said, "No one eats better food than that which he eats out of the work of his own hands." And then I learned something incredible. Every single prophet wasn't just a spiritual leader. They were workers, laborers, craftsmen, business people. Prophet Dawood made armor with his own hands. Prophet Zechariah was a carpenter. These weren't just spiritual giants. They were people who understood the dignity of work, the value of earning with their own effort. And that's when it hit me. Our work isn't separate from our worship. It's part of it. Every honest job, every skill we develop, every effort we make, it all could be an act of ibadah when done with the right intention. So today, I want to take you on a journey through the lives of Allah's chosen messengers, not just as prophets, but as workers, as professionals, as people who earn their living with dignity and purpose. But before we dive in, if you're someone who wants to strengthen your connection with the stories of the prophets and apply their lessons to your daily life, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We post content like this every week to help you live your faith with purpose and understanding. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the most common profession among the prophets, shepherding. Prophet Muhammad was a shepherd in his youth. He said, "There was no prophet who was not a shepherd." Subhanallah. Think about that. Allah could have chosen princes, scholars, or wealthy merchants from the beginning, but he chose shepherds. Why? Because shepherding teaches you patience. It teaches you care for those weaker than you. It teaches you to stay awake while others sleep, to protect the vulnerable, to lead with gentleness. These are the exact qualities needed to guide humanity. Prophet Musa was also a shepherd. After fleeing Egypt, he spent years in Madian tending sheep for Prophet Shu'aib. Those quiet years in the desert prepared him for leading an entire nation out of slavery. Prophet Ishaq and Prophet Yaqub also worked as shepherds. It was the family business, you could say, and this humble profession taught them the foundations of leadership. The lesson here? Never look down on humble beginnings. The greatest leaders often start in the most ordinary places. Now let's talk about the prophets who were businessmen and traders. Prophet Muhammad wasn't just a shepherd. Before prophethood, he was a successful merchant. He was known as Al-Amin, the trustworthy, because of his honesty in business. He traveled trade routes, managed caravans, and conducted business for Khadijah. This teaches us something crucial. There's honor in business when it's done with integrity. Making money isn't un-Islamic. Deception, exploitation, and greed are. Prophet Ibrahim was also involved in trade. Historical sources tell us he was a cloth merchant at times. Despite his wealth and status, he remained humble and devoted to Allah. Prophet Ismail learned business and trade from his father Ibrahim. He settled in Mecca and engaged in commerce, helping establish it as a center of trade. The lesson? Your workplace, your business dealings, your transactions, these are all arenas where your character is tested. Honesty in business is worship. Some prophets were skilled craftsmen, working with their hands to create. Prophet Dawood was a blacksmith who made armor and chainmail. The Quran tells us in Surah Saba, "We made iron soft for him." He was so skilled that his armor was famous, lightweight yet incredibly strong. And here's the beautiful part. He never accepted charity or handouts. He earned his living through his craft. Allah gave him prophethood and a skill, because dignified work is part of a complete life. Prophet Zechariah was a carpenter. He worked with wood, building and creating with his own hands well into his old age. Even as he worshipped Allah in the mirror, he supported himself through his carpentry. Prophet Nub built the Arkansas. Whether you call him a shipbuilder or a carpenter, he spent years, perhaps decades, constructing that massive vessel while people mocked him. Imagine the patience, the skill, the physical labor involved. Prophet Idris is often credited with teaching humanity the art of writing and tailoring. He was the first to use the pen and the needle, skills that would shape civilization itself. The lesson? Skills matter. Craftsmanship matters. Working with your hands, creating value, building things, this is dignified and honorable in Islam. Some prophets held positions of power and governance. Prophet Yusuf was the minister of finance in Egypt, essentially the second most powerful person in the country. He went from slave to prisoner to prime minister. And what did he do with that power? He implemented economic policies that saved the entire region from famine. Leadership used righteously. Prophet Suleiman was a king, perhaps the most powerful king in history. He commanded armies, ruled over jinns and humans, and controlled the wind itself. Yet despite all this power, he remained a humble servant of Allah. Prophet Dawood was also a king. He ruled with justice, often personally hearing the cases of his people. The Quran describes him as someone who judged with truth and wisdom. The lesson? Power and authority aren't evil. It's how you use them. Leadership is a test, and these prophets showed us that you can have worldly authority while remaining spiritually grounded. Let's cover the remaining prophets and their occupations. Prophet Adam was a farmer. After leaving paradise, he tilled the earth and cultivated the land. He was humanity's first farmer, teaching his children how to grow food and survive. Prophet Shu'aib was known for his wisdom in commerce and fair dealing. He called his people to honest business practices, proper weights and measures. He understood economics and justice in trade. Prophet Ayyub was a wealthy landowner and livestock owner before his trials. He managed vast properties and employed many people, always with fairness and generosity. Prophet Ilyas and Prophet Ilyasa were devoted to calling people back to worship of Allah alone, facing down corrupt rulers. Prophet Yunus was a prophet to the people of Nineveh, calling them to righteousness before his famous test in the belly of the whale. Prophet Lut worked among his people, calling them away from their sins while likely engaging in trade or agriculture like others of his time. Prophet Harun served alongside his brother Musa, assisting in leading the Israelites and acting as a spokesperson. Prophet Hud, Prophet Salih, Prophet Tul-Kifl, Prophet Ismail, and Prophet Ishaq all lived among their people, some as shepherds, some in trade, all calling to the worship of Allah alone. Prophet Isa is described as performing miracles and preaching from a young age, but historical traditions also mention him working as a helper to his mother and community. Prophet Yahya was known for his asceticism and devotion, spending his life calling people to prepare for the coming of Isa. So what do all these occupations teach us? First, work is worship. When you go to your job tomorrow, whether you're a teacher, an engineer, a nurse, a driver, a store clerk, you're following in the footsteps of prophets. Your work, done with honesty and excellence, is ibadah. Second, no job is beneath you. If prophets, the best of humanity, could be shepherds, carpenters, and laborers, then no honest work should make you feel ashamed. Dignity comes from your character, not your job title. Third, skills matter. Develop your abilities. Learn your craft. Excel at what you do. Prophet Dawood didn't just make armor. He made the best armor. Quality work is part of Ison. Fourth, earning with your own hands is honorable. Prophet Muhammad praised those who work for their own sustenance. Self-sufficiency, when possible, is a goal worth pursuing. Fifth, your profession is your platform. Each prophet used their position, whether as a king or a carpenter, to call people to truth and justice. Your workplace is your dawah field. Your character at work speaks volumes about your faith. And finally, balance is key. These prophets worked and worshipped. They earned and served. They built their worldly skills while never neglecting their spiritual growth. If these stories inspired you, I want to challenge you with something. Look at your own work differently starting tomorrow. Whether you're studying, working, building a business, or serving your family, do it with the intention of following the prophet's example. Make your work an act of worship through your honesty, your excellence, and your good character. And if you found value in this video, subscribe to this channel. We're building a community of Muslims who want to live their faith with purpose and understanding. Hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment telling me, what's your profession and how can you make it more meaningful? Let's learn from the prophets together.